Yeah, welcome back, people. Glad you guys came and are ready to see another episode of our In Today's Timeline. We've got some good comics for you guys today. Some Inferno, some Wolverine, and we're going to review some more DC comics and the episode of What If. So let's get to it. In Today's Timeline. Well, I'm going to start things off this week with my favorite character. So we've got an episode of a comic of Wolverine. So Wolverine 16. Let's go right from the start here. The villain that we're looking at is Solemn. He's another mutant, but he's cool because he's also got Wolverine's adamantium, but all over his skin. So his skin is adamantium. You can't really pierce him, which is awesome. So good villain for him. So a little background on him. He came from the second island, and that's why we have all these new mutants popping up. But he came up a little bit during X of Swords. During Wolverine 15, they start giving a little bit of background about him, and 16, they kind of go full on him and Wolverine. I kind of enjoy their interactions. I kind of enjoy that we're getting a really cool and angry Wolverine, but he's not all just a weapon, so he's also doing things that he has to for honor. In the episode 16, he's looking for the Muramasa blades. So one of his mentors actually made these two blades, and his souls are in them. That's why he wants them back. So he's actually doing something good. And Solemn actually hid both of them, and actually took a lot for Wolverine to actually go get them. And I would definitely read it, and I like where this comic is going. I enjoyed the direction, and it's got some pretty cool, fun fight panels. So, Justin.
Yeah, all right. Welcome back, everyone. First DC comic of the week might be my favorite comic out right now, and that is, of course, Batman Reptilian. This is Reptilian 4, written by Garth Ennis, art by the great Liam Sharp. This is a painted comic, so it definitely looks a lot different. But as I said, it is one of my favorites going right now. This is the issue that kind of lays it all on the table. There's some big revelations that I won't get into detail here because this episode would be about 4 hours long. But definitely check it out. Check it out. Just get it. Whether you wait for the trade to come out here in a few months when the series wraps up with issue 6, or you try and find some backlog of issues somewhere. Definitely check it out. Art is just the best. I mean, Liam Sharp is one of the best right now, doing this, helping with Batman and Catwoman. But yeah, I think that's the end of my first issue. As I said, just check it out. It's best going right now.
All right, let's bring it back to me on the Marvel end. We've got Inferno. So this comic has a lot to it, a lot of little layers, a lot of plot lines that are coming through. I mean, as this starts with Emma Frost bringing back Charles Xavier and Magneto from their death, and we don't know where they actually died, if this is the future, this is the past, like they just kind of leave it real open. Another cool stuff is they're bringing this weird new mutant called Destiny. Well, she's not exactly new. She was Mystique's ex-wife, or wife when she died, and they brought her back. So I didn't know this. Bit of a shocker. So now Mystique is on her side. Destiny can see the future, so she's got a few things that she wants to fix in order for the mutants to stay alive. And on the other side of the coin here, we have Moira MacTaggart, which is Charles Xavier's love interest. And she is a mutant, even though they kind of keep that a little bit of a secret. She just comes back to life, like reborn again from the beginning of her life every time she dies. So, I mean, with the memories of what happened. So she can pretty much tell you what's going to happen in the future, or when a future timeline ends, she just comes back naturally, which is pretty awesome. So she wants to get Magneto and Professor X to kill Destiny because for whatever reason, she really hates her. Now, the Morris thing is, I don't know if she's good or bad yet, because in one of the timelines, she is able to create the cure for mutants. What I mean cure is, she'll pretty much end the mutant line. So that's end of the world scenario there that Inferno poses to us. Another one is the Omega Sentinels, which in every single timeline that they pop up, that means certain death for all mutants. So let's see what we've got at the end of this one. The mutant council in the island decides that it's time for new members, and there's a couple of openings ready, and suddenly Mystique comes up and shows Destiny and says, hey, we can kind of vote her in. Kind of sends everyone into a little confusion because Destiny is quote-unquote supposed to be dead. Yeah, sounds a little confusing. I'm looking forward to what Hickman, Shitty, and Curiel are going to do with this. The panels are great. A lot of weird storylines coming from it, but they say that this is the end of the current X-Men run. Like, whatever's happening right now, it'll get sorted out by the end of Inferno. So, looking forward to that. See where it goes. Justin.
All right, my second pick of the week is Superman, Son of Kal-El 3, written by Tom Taylor and art by John Timms. Where to begin with this one? This one, it kind of introduces more of the main villain. I think we're going to see in the first really arc of, we'll call him Superboy for the simplicity of sake, at least for now. His name he goes by Mr. Bendix. He is the president of this island nation of Gomorrah. Superboy has kind of made him quite angry, talking out against him, taking in refugees from his island, even though his island is a paradise, a utopia. Also in this issue, this is the issue where Superman is leaving Earth. So he is gone. This ties into the Action Comics Warworld run, which I believe starts this week. So make sure to check that out. And then finally, the best cliffhanger, I think, in a while. The Kent farm is bombed by this Mr. Bendix using a meta called Fault Line. Basically, when she steps, she can destroy entire city blocks with earthquakes. So, yeah, we'll see where that picks up with issue 4 out in a few weeks. And, I think that'll get us into our final book, which is actually a DC book we both read. Franco, if you want to introduce that one.
Yeah, let's... Deathstroke Inc. #1. I enjoyed this. As you guys know, I'm not a big DC reader, but it's a good change of pace for me. I like the panels. I like the colors on it. They're very vibrant, especially with Deathstroke's suit. And yeah, I like the fact that they're bringing him in as a hero at the moment. So anti-hero Deathstroke, and yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with this one. This is written by Joshua Williams, who is kind of the new head of DC. He wrote the last big event with Infinite Frontier, and he's writing part 2 of that, which is Justice Incarnate, which we'll both be talking about, and that comes out in November. But with Deathstroke Inc., the art by Howard Porter is great. 2 big panels in particular, the one where Deathstroke is standing on the roof of a Batmobile. The new organization he works for goes by the name of... I don't remember what they were called.
I don't know what I do enjoy.
Trust. They're called Trust. It's the initials of something, and they have access to heroes' techs. Batmobile. We do see a very big suit of bat armor. It could be the Justice Buster suit from Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder's run. I'm not sure exactly. But they have deep pockets, deep arsenal, and they have Deathstroke and Black Canary working for them.
One thing about Deathstroke and Black Canary that I caught my attention as soon as I was reading it is when they come in, you see them the first time, they're shooting or using their powers. The powers look awesome, and then you also see their name like in their same like power, and that was different from, reading Marvel so much.
Definitely great introductions to both characters. You get Slade, obviously, as I was saying, on the roof of the Batmobile with a minigun, just blasting these drones down. And then, of course, Black Canary entering with her Canary Cry, destroying several drones as well. But we'll see where this run takes. There's kind of a spy thriller aspect to it as Black Canary's trying to figure out what Trust is all about. Obviously, there's some kind of antagonist to Hive. Hive being kind of a secret organization that have been involved with the Titans and Slade and other heroes throughout the years. So
yeah, they like their little acronyms and stuff, don't
yeah,
they?
Yeah, they definitely like their acronyms in this run. There's 2 of them. Probably will be more. We do see teasers to the next 3 issues. One looks space. That looks like issue 2. Issue 3 looks magic based, and then issue 4 Slade kills somebody, and Robin is not very happy about it. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, that should be a good little back and forth, and see how they're writing Robin with Slade.
Again, that's another Joshua Williamson book, Robin. So, as I said, new king at DC, all types of books, taking over the Batman in December.
Very nice.
So, yeah. I think we're going to move into our next segment, which is What If?
So, yeah, we got the last episode from What If, which is the continuation of the last episode, which is awesome.
This is the season finale.
Yeah, we were hoping that they would continue with the Watcher, because he was getting his face kicked in a few times in the last episode. And on this one, we get the Guardians of the Multiverse.
Yes, this is Chadwick Boseman's last voice acting with Marvel. This is the end. Last lines he recorded before unfortunately passing away. But it was a hit or miss episode to me. There was definitely a lot more humor in this one than last episode. This one felt much more like a Marvel movie.
I think they took a little. I mean, we know the characters. I mean, they don't need to have them interact too much. I mean, I don't know. I just wanted them to go ahead and start fighting. There's too much of a lighter side when all the universes are getting destroyed. I mean,
the first 15 minutes are just jokes upon jokes upon jokes.
Yeah, we were more serious about it.
Right, the last episode was much more serious in tone. Ultron basically being a god.
Yeah, I felt like he was a little underpowered in this one, because at one moment they had him tied down, but he still has 5 stones on him. I mean, there's no way that he needs to hold his hands together. So
yeah, there was definitely times where the logic in this show is hit or miss. I mean, Doctor Strange uses hundreds of Mjolnirs to hit Ultron with and does nothing, and then later in the episode, Thor is able to knock off one of Ultron's arm with a single hammer throw.
Yeah, so that there, I mean, the hundreds of hammers could have destroyed him a little more, but
right. And then I think we see again another problem overall with Marvel, and that is how powerful the Infinity Stones are. All 6 Infinity Stones should be no match for anybody.
Yeah, I mean, nothing. I mean, you can't even lift your finger.
He should be able to just disintegrate Mjolnir.
Yeah, at least the time stone, everything stops.
Right.
What can you do now? It's over. So,
right. Yeah, definitely hit or miss there. But yeah, I think we have one final thing to talk about this week, and that is the Game of Thrones trailer. And a release date.
Pretty exciting. I was a huge fan. Named my cats after Game of Thrones. I mean, that's how crazy I was into it. And I got the books. I can't wait until all of them are over. And I'm glad that they're doing something that doesn't have any direct tie into the current
this
story.
should not affect anything in the original show except for the fate of some characters.
Yeah. Which is awesome. I mean,
based off the trailer, the costume design is on point. I mean, there's a lot of different looks. The Iron Throne has a new look with
the swords,
swords. Yeah, there's surrounded by more swords.
Almost maybe a battle, and they've melted their enemy swords right next to the Iron Throne.
Yep.
That was pretty cool.
And it also looks like this season will have more to do with the gods of the Game of Thrones universe.
I mean, we saw a lot of that with Melisandre and her, summoning things and weird stuff that we saw. The show didn't really go that way much, but it showed a lot of glimpses of that, and I hope the movies continue that, and I hope that this new show actually relies heavily on it.
Yeah, they mentioned gods in the tagline, so I imagine they'll be quite involved.
I wonder how many and which ones are, the old ones and the new
gods.
Right,
there are quite many gods in this universe.
Yeah. We're pretty excited about that. That's next year, 2022. So there's a lot of cool stuff 2022, including some games. I am pretty psyched about a new Pokemon game coming up as well. So, but we'll leave Pokemon things for another.
And as we mentioned last episode, 10 days from now, DC Fandom. Check that out. All types of trailers, all types of announcements. We'll be doing a full breakdown of that. That should be a lot. It's going to be a long video, guys. So just be prepared for that. We'll have all types of trailers, announcements, castings. The full star guest list is out. You can find that. It's about 50 names that are way too many to be naming here. So we'll see what gets announced.
All right, well, I think that brings us up to the conclusion of our episode. Yeah. So I'm very happy that you guys are still watching us, and thanks for subscribing and keep hitting the links and sharing it. Any comments or anything new that you guys would like to see, just let us know.
Yeah, what did you guys think about What If this week? Let's talk about that in the comment section down below. Did you guys read any of the books that we read last week? Let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think. Any series we should be reading, any series coming out that you guys are going to be picking up. But yeah, I think we'll talk to you guys next week. We've got a pretty stacked list again. Fear State continues in the Batman world. Dark Ages continues on the Marvel side of things. We'll both be reading that.
We got Kang 2 that came out this week that I have to pick up. We got some Dark Ages. That's something we can definitely get excited about.
Yeah, Tom Taylor is killing it over there. Great with DC. He's great with Marvel. Just a great writer overall.
Yeah, all right. Well, that will be the end of it from us, and thanks for watching.
Make sure to check us out, Facebook and Twitter.